So you're saying you don't know what to say when someone is saying to you, I saw my uncle, what's next?
No, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah,
What's next, Sylvia?
You know, I don't know what's next, actually. And I don't know. I only know about this life. I'm really, this is the life that I'm really focusing on. So I try to give people a lot of room to say whatever they say, and not fix it one way or another. I was telling Redwing earlier tonight that when my father was dying, he was really quite young. He was 72, and he died with all of his mental stuff with him. He had multiple myeloma in the days that it was not a long-term treatable disease. And in the last days of his life, he was in a facility in Sarafel so that I could get some help with the custodial care of his body. I asked, what did he say to me one day? He said, I don't think I'm not worried about dying. He said, I'm only worried about, I'm not worried about being dead. I'm only worried about the moment that I'll be dying. I think that'll be terrible. I said, I don't think you have to worry about that because the chances are that you'll be asleep during that time. He said, you think so? I said, yeah, I think so. He said, okay, turn on the ball game on TV. So, it doesn't have to be all that complicated, like, you know, I think that sometimes it doesn't have to be a whole philosophical. I was telling Redwing that when he was really quite in a coma for the last couple of days of his life, and every once in a while he roused himself a little bit, and I would talk to him, and I would say to him when he was up a little bit, I'd say to him, als de wetkommen auf the next Welt soll sein, get the beteren für uns. Which means when you come on the next world, put in a good word for us. And that's what my people said to the people before. You know, that's what you say to people. Come on the next world, you put in a good word for us. And I knew that my father was completely a non-believer in the next world. And that my father knew that I knew that he knew that we were. But I said it anyway because it's the equivalent of saying I love you. When my children were born, and my grandchildren, I put Bibles with red ribbons wrapped around them under their mattress. I don't believe that warded off the evil eye, but the people before me did that, and the people before them did it, and I had a good time making those little red. It's a way of saying I love you. Not that the child knows that you put the Tehillim are there, but you put them, the psalm book, under the mattress. Put in a good word for us. At one point, when my father roused himself, we'd probably been at the bedside of people who were up and then gone again, and then suddenly he'd be sleeping quietly, and he'd have that kind of apnea breathing. And I'd get up and I'd start to say my thing about, you did great, everybody loved you, this is your time, all of that, and I'd say my thing. And he opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But that was the kind of a way he was in his life. I love that, you know, I take it with me as a teaching. It's like getting born, you know, you just do it.
And I think, you know, in your situation when you're with someone who maybe does have a belief system in something else, you can ask what they think is coming, and it's okay to say, I don't know, you know, what's happening in the next life? I don't know. I mean, although sometimes, you know, I had an experience with my sister in the last days of her life when, you know, a lot of times when people, they're talking